Hey guys, this is DFD, aka Dark Frozen Depths, back with another Kamihime project video. Now this one's on a different screen because I've already saved these things down, but this is going to be a quick little look at some future content that's going to be very good for newer players. And maybe even some older players might get some decent use out of it too. But this has hit the Japanese side on DMM. This is going to take over a year before it will hit the other versions, but this is still extraordinarily good because of what these weapons do. Now, I'm going to scroll up further, and then I have to grab this, but anyways, as you can see, there's 3 of each one. They are different types, so it'll depend on your grid, basically. But they all break down into one of 3 things. Either a defender assault weapon, an elaborate assault weapon, or an assault defender weapon. Now, I had to say it in that order because of the simple fact that whatever I said first is what comes up as large and is what you get at the gate. The second skill I said is what you get when you final break the weapon. So, that said, I can go over the numbers with these because of the simple fact that I've memorized what they do. And I'm going by what at the time they come out, because they do change elaborate later on. So, at the time these weapons come out, the elaborate changes have already happened. But, anyways, the weapons that start off with Defender will gain Assault, and they will have, by the time you reach skill level 30, 21% Defender, that means 21% more HP, and 15% Assault. So, that's actually not too bad. The Assault ones that get Defender when they final break, just flip those numbers around. So it'll be 21% Assault and 15% Defender. So there's that. Now, the elaborate ones are a little bit different. It's going to have the same Assault as the one that starts off with Defender, so they'll both be 15% Assault. The elaborate weapon, however, due to the changes on elaborate, it will get a soft cap increase of 25% when you max it out and get it to skill level 30. Reason I had to point that out, when they change elaborate later on, it is going to be up to 50% cap from weapons alone. Buffs will have to have their own little increase, but it will all total 150% total. Buffs will give you up to 100%, weapons will give you up to 50%. That means you can get skills that have 2.5 times the damage before the soft cap even gets applied, so there's that. Now, that said, that means that if you get 2 of the elaborate weapon, you will have max cap for elaborate off of weapons. So that is something to keep in mind. If you're definitely going towards a skill-oriented team, like say you got characters that do some strong ability nukes, or if you want to really buff Medea's damage output, you might want to get 2 of these. And then, on top of that, 21% assault weapons with Defender giving 15%, that is a very good weapon. Even if you get the alternate one, it will just give you a little bit more HP instead of attack power, but all 3 of them carry assault, all 3 of them are very good. Here's the kicker. Now, there's different ones, but I will point out the grid you will probably be aiming for should you be dealing with this, because this has honestly gotten a little bit tempting to go jump onto the Japanese side too, because you can still grind these out. I'll mention where in a second, but you've probably already noticed. But for fire, you'll end up getting a spear grid for the most output. For water, you'll end up getting a glaive grid for most output, a bow grid for wind. For thunder, it will be an axe grid. For light, it will be a hammer grid, and this is pretty interesting considering the fact that the Phantom Hammer actually gives the most assault out of any of the other weapons you get from Ragnarok Catastrophe. And then it's a gun grid for Dark, which goes even further considering the fact that there is gun weapons for Dark coming from the Dark Guardian Auratron, and they are pretty good. You won't have any exceed, I'm pretty sure, but this can give you 10 very good Dark guns. But as you've noticed on the side, there's two places where you can get them: Raid Metal Exchange and Ultimate Catastrophes. That's the kicker about this. They made it so you can get them very easily as a free player. Now, the fact that these are not something that's from, like, say, Epic Quest or Weekly Advent, the fact that these aren't event weapons, that changes everything, because event weapons are temporary. The Weekly Advent ones, they are permanent, but you only get one of each copy, so you would have had to have gone through the repeat events in order to get more of those. Epic Quests, you can get a limited supply of those as well, but they also don't final break. What's different about this is the fact that these are weapons that can indeed final break. You can grind them out. They come as occasional drops from Ultimate Catastrophes. You're probably grinding them for Regalia anyways. These are future-proof weapons because they are really good free player weapons, along with the fact that they are grindable. This is something that basically solidifies free players. And it is something that's going to happen later on down the line. If you're playing the Japanese side, you have access to this already. But if you're playing the DMM global side, or if you're playing Nutaku, we still got a year on this one, like nearly 12 months. So there's that. But these are still very good weapons. And then some of the other combinations aren't too bad either if you really want to aim for them. Because it's still the fact that, again, they all give assault. The only thing is, if you try to make a whole bunch of elaborate weapons out of it, you're only going to get ability damage increase and not ability cap. Because you've already maxed the cap out once you get 2 elaborate weapons up to skill level 30. So, there's that. But, again, these are very, very strong effects. These are very good for free players. This is something I had to do. This is something to look forward to. And quite frankly, if there's anybody that's so worried that, oh, I'll be so far behind on the Japanese side, well, hey, guess what? You now have a reason to go there. You can catch up with these. In fact, closer inspection, these look like the SR weapons, only they just redid them. They just gave them a different background and then let them final break. Something I had to point out. But, anyways, that's all for this. All of these even have some very good stats, too. There's like a few that dip below the 2500 mark. But there's quite a few that have like 2600, 2700. One of them had like 2800 attack. A few of them had 2800 attack or is nearby it. These are all very good weapons. This is something that was greatly welcome, and I applaud the devs on that one because this is something that the game really needed. So there's that. So that said, even if you can't go super ultra whale, I gotta blow everything up type grid, you could still get a very reasonably strong grid with these weapons. So this is something to look forward to. Just keep in mind that you still might be able to get some better weapons along the way if you're waiting for this update. So that's something I gotta point out. But anyways, that's all for this. More of this will come soon. And expect a Labyrinth video to show up pretty soon because I will show off, I don't know if I'll do the last 30 floors, like 4. I think I did like last 30 or 20 floors or so, but you'll see the end of the Light Labyrinth because I'm going to go through it on Ultimate. There's no reason for me not to, considering the fact that I'm more than strong enough for it. But anyways, that's all for this. More of this will come soon, and take care.